Just Jackie Layer with a check on how it's going to be. Jackie, I know it's foggy. We have some rain coming in. What else can we expect?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be another hot one out there and humid too. Already humid out there as we speak, and also with some dense fog for parts of the area. Now that fog will lift out. We'll eventually see some sunshine into the early afternoon before we see some spotty thunderstorms bubbling up. Now today, some of those storms could contain heavier downpours, but tomorrow we did make it a DMV first warn day for that threat for some strong to severe storms potentially, especially later on in the day tomorrow as a cold front will be approaching from the north and west. And tomorrow's going to be a hot one too. So that cold front trying to battling it out with that heat and humidity. And then we're certainly going to be heating things up this weekend as 90s will be with us. And then to start off that next work week, we're talking high temperatures, upper 90s, heat index values likely triple digits. So certainly going to feel like summer out there later this weekend and to start that next work week. Visibility out there this morning, though, very low for much of the region, down about a mile or less. We're seeing that in D.C., Annapolis, Leesburg, Winchester, Martinsburg, Cumberland. I'm listing most of the map dealing with at least a mile or less of that visibility. We did have that passing thunderstorm across Frederick County, Maryland, about a few hours ago. I would say that may have woken you up around 2:30 this morning. That has since moved its way off towards our north and east. Now the radar having a tough time dealing with where that mist is, but some of the areas where we're dealing with that thick fog, you could be dealing with also some mist too. So maybe a little damp out there too. Temperatures right now upper 60s to low to mid 70s. Very warm start to the day, and not only that, dew points nearly shadowing those actual air temperatures. And when we have dew points into those low to mid 70s, that's that tropical soupy feel to the air. So you'll certainly notice that as we're also stepping out the door this morning. It's going to be a humid one out there today as high temperatures climb lower 90s, and we're going to be tracking some of those storms that will bubble up later on today. Now tomorrow we did make that DMV first warn day. That's why it's highlighted in red on your screen. Low 90s though out there tomorrow, so a little bit hotter than the day today. It's hot and humid, scattered afternoon thunderstorms, and some of those will be on that strong to severe side. As we get towards Friday, drying out behind that cold front, won't be quite as humid, and we'll see high temperatures upper 80s for that summer solstice on Friday under a mix of sun and clouds. That severe outlook for the day today, it's not zero, it's a marginal risk, so that's 1 out of 5 on that severe scale. That's on the low end, does not include the entire area, as mainly for the eastern half of the region, including the I-95 corridor. However, most of the region tomorrow is highlighted in yellow, meaning that slight risk, 2 out of 5 on that severe scale. So it's a little bit more elevated compared to a marginal risk, and any threat of those storms could contain any hail or also damaging winds. That'll be something that we'll keep a close eye on for tomorrow. Let's talk timing though out there for today and tomorrow. We're looking at some of those storms bubbling up back out towards our westernmost areas. Could be as early as noon, and then as those storms slide their way eastward, yeah, we'll see those hit or miss heavier downpours too as those storms slide on across the region, as we do see the heating of the day back into those lower 90s. As we look ahead towards later on tonight, we'll see partly cloudy conditions, maybe that potential for a little bit of fog too into tomorrow morning. And then as we look ahead towards tomorrow afternoon, it's almost like a rinse and repeat, but I think tomorrow afternoon and evening, we do see a bit more in the way of those showers and storms becoming a bit more widespread. We could see this initial cluster of storms right around 3 p.m. I'm more concerned with that secondary area of some heavy downpours. And that every time I see a little bit of that pink or even purple popping up on the map, to me that indicates that potential for some hail with any of those storms too as they slide their way across the region into the latter half of the afternoon into that evening commute time frame. So that'll be something that we'll keep a close eye on for your Thursday. Like I mentioned before, Friday we dry things out, not as humid, and then the weekend we crank up the heat. We're back into those lower 90s Saturday, Sunday. Look at those upper 90s to start off that next work week. Heat index values likely into those triple digits Monday and Tuesday. And look at that, Tuesday we could get close to triple digits in terms of high temperatures too. So keeping a close eye on that potential for extreme heat as we start off that next work week. Thank you.